Narrative-driven horror games have made a resurgence over the last decade. One of the stars of this movement is 2015's Until Dawn, an adventure game with multiple main characters where you decide the fate of each with your decisions. That series was eventually killed in favor of a massive project with Bandai Namco called The Dark Pictures Anthology. Its 8-game run began in 2019 with Man of Medan, which launched on Game Pass a year ago. It shares the same template as Until Dawn, but does it start out on the right foot? Let's find out if Man of Medan is a game pass or a game fail.
Hello, and welcome.
As the game begins, you're following 4 friends as they head out on a diving expedition. The group finds a mysterious plane crash, and despite the captain stating that the wreckage is cursed, the group dives down and finds coordinates to a supposed hidden treasure.
You think you can scavenge down there and it makes no difference, but every single thing you bring back has an essence. It's like a ghost you invite to the surface.
Here we go.
The crew is predictably taken hostage, and the captors force them to take them to the coordinates, only to find a mysterious ship. You must try and save the group from both the captors and the supernatural forces on the haunted vessel.
Everything may not be entirely as it seems.
The overarching plot for the entire series focuses on the Curator, who wants you to complete all his stories. It's a lazy premise, but the story in Man of Medan is a little more robust. The world building is great, and while the plot is fumbled a bit as it comes in for a landing, the ideas mostly work.
This guy, Miller? Guy seems pretty spooked.
Cheap jump scares are plentiful, and the characters are mostly blank slates, but they fulfill their archetypes and develop a bit over the course of the story.
Howdy, Captain. You fancy a pint with your second in command?
You are not my second in command.
Third in command.
No.
Fresh and eager cabin boy.
Still a no.
Interaction is split into 2 parts. Making decisions works well for the most part. The majority are made during conversations, but some ask for your input on particular situations. Each decision shapes the characters' personalities and their relationships with each other, but it isn't clear how these traits affect outcomes. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can say is nothing at all, and the game includes that option among 2 other conversation choices. 3 options seems like a low number, but when your decisions impact the rest of the game, math dictates that more would be extremely difficult to wrangle.
As in life, the actions you take matter. The choices you make will affect others.
The exploration is extremely clunky. Characters move like they're walking through molasses, and bad camera angles make it tough to find secrets and clues. Then there are the numerous QuickTime events. QTEs are a valid tool to induce tension, and some of them work quite well, but you often don't get a warning that they are coming. This means that you have to stay consistently engaged and at the ready, which can be exhausting over time. You can remove the QTE timer using the accessibility options, but it's not a perfect fix. Game Pass has plenty of horror and adventure games, though surprisingly few that combine the 2. On the adventure side, Tell Me Why is a great example of the interactive story template that Man of Medan uses, and Last Stop has even less interaction. Walking simulators like East Shade and old-school point-and-click adventures like Grim Fandango are also well represented. On the horror side, whether you're looking for a more slow-paced experience like The Medium and Blair Witch, something with more tension like Alien Isolation, or even jump-scare-driven games like Five Nights at Freddy's, Game Pass provides a lot of options. Now it's time to find out, is Man of Medan a game pass or a game fail?
I dare say we'll find out.
This is a difficult verdict because we haven't played the game cooperatively, which seems like what it's truly designed for. But these games are really driven by storytelling, and Man of Medan excels at it. The gameplay on the default setting is a mess, but you can mitigate some of the issues with settings tweaks. Those caveats aside, the Dark Pictures Anthology is a great fit with Game Pass. If you are curious about the genre, or just want to dip your toes into the horror pool, you can play it for a couple of hours, get the idea, and easily move on to something else if it's not working for you. Shorter, episodic games are always going to work under this format. It's not the best in its genre, but its combination of features is unique on the service. Man of Medan gets a Game Pass. For next week, we are looking at the new games for Game Pass in July, and the randomizer selects Lethal League Blaze.